Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we plow through video number 2. If you haven't checked out video number 1 from earlier on, do head over here and check that out and then head over back if you want to watch that first. But we go through Tosin, Adarabioyo, who has joined Chelsea Football Club and signed technically Enzo Maresca's first signing, even though he's not in charge of signings, and we don't do that anymore. But first signing for Chelsea in this window, and had a lot to say, and we went through it. And yes, he is born in St. Mary's. Thank you for everyone that went into the comment section to clarify that one for me, because I didn't know, and I didn't watch the video package that Chelsea had put out. They don't normally do that, right? I read loads of quotes, and there was the interview that was on the website and everything, but there was a video that I wasn't aware of that I watched after I uploaded. And yeah, in that video he says, I was born in St. Mary's. So yeah, basically he was born in Paddington. That clarifies that. Let's get on with what has happened since that video, since earlier on today, up until now. And of course, we have a bunch of things to go through. So let's get into the nitty gritty. In regards to Julian Alvarez, we have an update from Gaston Edul, who has given us the latest in relation to Alvarez. Here we go. Chelsea have made it known there will be an offer in the coming days. I don't have the exact amount. Manchester City don't want to sell. Julian Alvarez wants to play. And this is what this geezer has said. That's Gaston Edul. So, that's the latest in relation to Alvarez. And Chelsea apparently are going to make an offer. Now, look, this isn't going to be an easy deal to do. Clearly, Man City don't want to sell him. And I can understand why they don't want to sell him. But he wants game time. And it might come to a case where I would say, hopefully, Man City are in a situation where they go, you know what, we'll just take the money because he's not happy. He doesn't want to stick around on the bench. We've got Haaland. He's not getting dropped, and rightly so. So it might just be a clash of circumstances for club and player. And if that's the case, then they're probably going to try and maximise the amount of money they're going to get. I don't think they'll go too crazy, because at the end of the day, if a player's unhappy, why just have him on the bench? You'd rather just make some money. I think that the question should be on our finances, which we're going to come to. But our finances, if we're talking realistically, we got Tosin on a free. We're looking to bring in Michael Olise. That will cost about 60 mil. If we get Alvarez, like I mentioned earlier, I reckon that could be about 70, 80 mil. If I'm having to pluck out a number out of thin air. If we are able to get it for less, then I think that would be fantastic. That would be phenomenal. But let's say it's 70 million, right? Actually, no, I say it's 80 million. If it was 80 million plus the 60 that would spend on Olise, that's 140 million spent, right? It depends how tight we are. Because we can spend. But how tight are we? We don't actually know. What are the numbers? We don't know. So this is where Chelsea are going to prioritise selling players, especially the pure profit ones, because like it says in the tin, they're pure profit. And that could help facilitate some of these deals. But I would want us to be in a situation where we are going to get these players over the line and then sell what we need to sell. Not do it the other way around. Sell and then end up not getting these guys in and then being left with, yes, maybe more cash, but nothing to really show as replacement. Or upgrades, which is what we need to do. So, Alvarez, that's the latest. Apparently, we're making an offer. We'll wait and see when it's all about to commence. Let's move. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's move to a player that I didn't think I was going to be talking about. This has come out of nowhere. Check this out. Chelsea have received interest and inquiries for Nkunku, but no plans to let him go this summer. Nkunku also wants to say. That has come from Sky Sports in Germany. That's a bizarre one. That's a bizarre one. I can understand why teams would be interested. Don't get me wrong. And I think Nkunku is going to be a big part of next season. But I did not expect teams to go, you know what, let's inquire about Nkunku. It's pretty clear he's not going anywhere. Worth a try, I guess. You know, you're better off shooting your shot. You might as well try. You don't lose anything, right? So don't hesitate. We'll get to someone that is hesitating later on in the video, but don't hesitate. And yeah, in this case, Nkunku wants to stay. I fully expect him to stay. I didn't think this would even be a conversation. So that's that. Nkunku's not going anywhere. You can rest assured. Let's move now to Chelsea's financial situation. This is where we get into it. Sky Sports have had to correct themselves, which gives the unanimous victory to David Ornstein. Check this out. Sky Sports understands Chelsea will need to make sales. Sorry, this is wrong. This is wrong. Oh, okay, no. Sorry, I've misread this. I'm gonna keep this in. This is as authentic as it gets. Check this out. It says Sky Sports understands Chelsea will need to make sales to keep in line with PSR for the 24-25 season, and the cutoff for that is next summer. But they are under no pressure to sell this month. That's what Sky Sports had to say. Basically, they had to retract their statement from yesterday. Yesterday, they said that Chelsea are one of 6 Premier League clubs that have to sell, right? This by June 30th. That's not the case. But they do have to sell for June 30th next year. Not this one, the next one. We need to generate money in order to comply with PSR for that year. For this year, we're good. This is exactly what David Ornstein said weeks ago, if we remember. And then we started hearing conflicting reports. And then we were like, what's really going on? And as up until recently, I've said, even yesterday, I was like, look, the truth will come out. We'll have to wait. The truth will come out and we'll know which way it is. Well, now we know. Sky Sports have had to retract their statement. And basically, we're good. Which means that I think what Chelsea have done, selling the hotels, I don't know, have they sold Cobham yet? I think they might have. They're selling the car parks, selling all of that to themselves, basically, from Chelsea to Blue Co, has generated about £80 million. It's a loophole. It is a loophole. It doesn't sit well with me, I'll be honest, because those are the assets that belong to the club. The only way that this is going to be corrected is if later that's sold back to the club. Or someone did put it in the comments earlier on, and I was like, this is interesting. That is interesting. What if Blue Co, after this is done, right, Blue Co sell the assets back to Chelsea, right? And then to comply with PSR next year, you know where I'm going. They sell it back to Blue Co. So then it gets onto the books for 24-25. I don't know if... Look, I'm not an economist. I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. As they would say in Only Fools and Horses. But listen, is that possible? Does that... Because at the end of the day, PSR, you're talking about profit. The losses are losses, but profit is... Look, technically, what could happen here? Blue Co can sell it to Chelsea for £1. And then they can sell it from Chelsea to Blue Co again for 80 mil. They could just repeat loop and loop. That's the biggest loophole I think anyone can. If they do that, right, and then if they leave, if they sell up or whatever happens in the future, and then they give it back to Chelsea Football Club, then I'll be okay. But that's the thing. What's their real intention? That I genuinely don't know. I don't trust their genuine intention yet. So I don't know. But do let me know if you think that loop is possible, because the Premier League did vote to not ban these sort of moves as of yesterday in terms of the FFP rules and all of that. They did allow, basically, assets to be moved like this between clubs without a problem. So Chelsea are in the clear in terms of this, the Cobham, the training ground, whatever. As I said, it doesn't sit well with me. We're playing with the club's assets. I don't like that. But if they genuinely in the back of their heads go, no, it's fine, don't worry. If something happens in the future, or we leave, or we sell up, don't worry, those will be part of the club. If that's the case, then cool. If it's not, then there's a big conversation to have had. But this is the thing. What do you think? Let me know down below. But it's a very interesting saga, that. Very, very interesting saga. Now, this is a very, very, very good thing to see. This is from Brazil. Check this out. So Thiago Silva received a massive, massive welcome as he landed in Rio de Janeiro. Look at that. Talk about a reception. I mean, we saw Mourinho get one in Fenerbahce, but Thiago Silva has come back home, basically, to a hero's welcome in Fluminense. And, very, very nice to see, because he deserves that. I love Thiago Silva to bits. Him and his family, like I've mentioned, good luck to Thiago and his family out there in Brazil. They've left London now. They've landed in Brazil. They're home. Enjoy it. And we look forward to having you back in London and hopefully back at Chelsea at some point in another capacity, in another role. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Very good to see, though. Congrats and good luck for the season, Thiago. Oh, monstro. Kill it. I hope Fluminense win the league. Anyway, let's move to a club that we have to talk about that like to hesitate, like I mentioned earlier on. Check this out. Former Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel is understood to have fallen down the list at Manchester United due to some differences in outlook. England manager Gareth Southgate is INEOS' number one choice. This is from The Independent. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold it. If this happens, I swear I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. You're going to see a 10-minute video of me giggling. I better not smash the bottles around here. Don't worry, it's water. But Thomas Tuchel, clearly, if this is the case, has had some sort of misunderstanding with the Man United hierarchy. Maybe about what he wants to do, what he expects. You know, Thomas Tuchel is an ambitious person. We know he likes to operate the highest level. Yeah, that comes with, his flaws. We all know, but he is an elite gaffer, and he is someone that operates at the highest level, and he wants trophies and at all costs. Yeah, we know it. Now, if he's not getting what he wants in order to achieve that, he's not shy to give his opinion. We know this, and he sticks up for his way. We know this. He's the anti-yes man in all of this. We know this. So I have to say, at first, I was giving Man United praise in terms of their outlook, their moves. They got Omar Barada from City. The way they were restructuring looked serious. It looked serious, right? I have to be honest, though. If you can't get a deal done with a Thomas Tuchel, for example, and your next option is Gareth Southgate, then I'm sorry. I don't think you have any idea what you're doing. Now, this could also blow up in our faces. Why? Because Gareth Southgate, like I mentioned yesterday, for the England squad, right, has the biggest opportunity to end his time at England with a trophy. If he were to win England the Euros in Germany, of all places, let me tell you now, he will be a national hero in England forever. And his stocks will not just flipping hit the moon. They will go out of the galaxy, into some other galaxy. They will shoot into some next stratosphere. So I honestly, that is a point where anyone could look and go, oh, no, you know what, Gareth Southgate, maybe he is it. Yeah. So we'll see what happens at the Euros. I want England to win it. Come on, England. Yeah. It is one of my countries. I am half and half. So it is I want England to win the Euros, but I don't care if it's with or without Gareth Southgate. I hope we do it, right? But if he were to win it, ultimately his stocks will go through the roof. So United, they're hesitating. And this is why I said, and I stick to this, they want Ten Hag gone, but they haven't got the man yet through the door. They don't know who they want and they don't know who they're getting. Hence, they have to keep Ten Hag in a job, which is what leads to this. Breaking, Manchester United's post-season review is understood to be in final stages and a decision on Erik Ten Hag's future could be announced in the next week. Could be. Could be, should be, would be, if it is, when it is, maybe it is, we don't know. We don't know. No one flipping knows. They haven't made a decision and they will continue to not make the decision up until when they feel like, okay, we've got someone through. Now you can kick Erik Ten Hag away. But Ten Hag is cooked. He's cooked. He's out. He's done. If not, they would have already said he's staying by now. The fact that Man United are hesitating for this long is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. For a club like Manchester United, a club that should be operating with its heritage and its history and its prestige, all of that, to be operating like this is amateurish. You know, and this is why I said twice, at least with Chelsea, I can look at Chelsea and go, yo, you know what you want, at least. You made the decision and you ran with it. Fair play. I respect that. Which is why I said earlier on, don't hesitate. In things, don't hesitate. Whatever you do, that's an advice. Don't hesitate. Think about it. Once you've made your decision, it's done. Move. Time is money. It's all about action. It's not about thinking. If you overthink, you make mistakes. So this is where I think Manchester United are blowing it. The longer they wait, the worse it gets. Now there's also another thing about Man United. They're a mess. But check this out. Manchester United minority owner INEOS are looking to sell Nice amid expectations that the two clubs will be given a one-season transition by UEFA to complete in the Europa League this season. Another factor is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to focus on United, having achieved a lifetime ambition by becoming involved with his boyhood club. This makes sense to an extent. It'd be crazy to run two clubs at the highest level like that. It's too much. Especially Man United. Now, if you were operating, I don't know, Nice and Brighton, that might be possible. But Manchester United, I'm sorry, there's an expectation, there's a level. And if you're falling behind because you're thinking about someone else, then you're not going to achieve success. Man United needs the full attention, so for this, I can understand. What I don't get is why there's a pass given for Nice and United, just like there is for City and Girona. A one-season transition. I don't get that. But anyway, United are the focus for Ratcliffe. He wants to sell Nice. Cool. We'll see what happens. Now, let's bring it back to Chelsea. As we wrap up, Maurizio Sarri decided to speak and said something very interesting. Crazy how things happen, eh? But check this out. Leaving Chelsea has been my biggest mistake. There was a good basis to stay there and continue at the club. I did a big mistake in that moment. We won the Europa League. The project was great, but I wanted to return in Italy, unfortunately. He goes on to say, I had a contact with Sevilla, but our plans were different, so talks have collapsed. I want to return as soon as possible. It's difficult now. I only have solutions from abroad, but it's difficult for me to accept that. So I don't know. Does he want to stay in Italy? This is where, like... So you wanted Italy, and then you say you regret Chelsea, and then you got a job in Italy, and it didn't go well, so you regret that what happened, and now you don't want options from abroad, you want to stay in Italy. That hurts my head too much. That hurts. Maurizio Sarri, look, he done well in the end, especially with the Europa League win, but we have to take one thing into consideration here. The football was stagnant, people were getting frustrated, and Eden Hazard was leaving. The one man that actually made everything click in that season, and he had his standout season under Maurizio Sarri. You take Hazard to that team, and 50% of the team is gone. I'm not so sure if it would have continued so rosy after that. I think, look, the fans were already not happy with Sarri's way of playing. And yes, we got the Europa League. That was a saving grace, and it probably ended at the right moment. So there's that. But... this is also another example. Don't hesitate, but don't make the poor choice. Go with what you truly, you're not going to regret. Make the choice that you know you're going to be content with, whatever happens. You know, don't make an emotional judgment and a decision that's based on just how you're feeling in that moment. You can't do that. And I feel like that's what Sarri done. That's his mistake. He was feeling homesick. If you're feeling homesick, that's normal. It's okay to feel homesick. It doesn't mean run off back home. It means suck it up a bit, keep it going, see what happens. Now, if you detest where you are, at that point, go. But you know you'll go without any regrets because you know that you hated it. Now he's saying he regrets it. Unfortunately. I'm happy with the way that it ended, personally. And good luck to him. Honestly, I hope he gets a good job and he's happy elsewhere. But there we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a double upload, I reckon. England are playing tonight against Iceland. Final game before the Euros kick off. And like I've said, the Euros are coming. So we are going to give coverage to that. Not watch-alongs, but there will be coverage to that. And I will be giving reviews, previews, and the whole lot for England. We'll be following England like we follow Chelsea on here. So make sure you are here for that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll give a double upload tomorrow as we get through all the latest that's happening tomorrow. It's all kicked off by now, so let's see what happens. And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. See you then. Take care. And peace.